Welcome to the 80s Roundtable. That's the 1980s for those youngsters out there. We're pleased to be joined by the Hall of Famer Kevin McHale, University of Minnesota, 1980 and 13 years in the NBA. Michael Ray Richardson, 9 years in the NBA after being University of Montana class of 1978. Darryl Dawkins, the legend himself. Darryl, great to see you. We've got Evans High School in Florida. That's in the United States still, I believe. And then Detlef Schrempf, University of Washington, 1985, and the king of them all, 16 years in the NBA. Congratulations and welcome, guys. Now, we're talking about the 80s. Kevin, you've got the 3 championships from the 1980s, your greatest moments.
Well, probably my greatest moment was 1986 when you and I were lucky enough to play together.
To play with Larry.
Well, we all got to play with Larry, which was always fun.
Or to play for Larry.
Well, sometimes for Larry, sometimes with Larry, but with Robert. We had it was such a magical year.
16 out of 40, the greatest winning tradition. You did it with hard work and teamwork. You've earned it. It's yours. Enjoy it.
Kevin, you regularly busted Darryl here. Your memories of Darryl in the 80s.
I have a very vivid memory of Darryl. So does my forearm. I'll tell you the story here in a minute. So we're down in Philly, and first of all, I'm trying to guard Dr. J. Dr. J goes for 45 that night, and ML Carr says to me, you got to make him go left. So I jump up on his right hand pretty high, and he still goes right. Well, I jump up another farther on his right hand, and he still goes right. I'm so far on his right, he goes left, right. He throws it over like this and dunks on me like this. So now I get dunked on by Dr. J. Can't stop him. Right. And he throws a pass that's double D. So I jump up to try to block the shot. And I get my hand on the ball, and my rim catches me here, and he bends my arm, almost breaks my arm. So I'm a rookie now, and I don't want to show that I'm hurt, So I'm sitting there, I'm on the free throw, and I'm doing this, and I'm looking, and the bump's growing on my arm. I'm going like, and Tiny walks up to me, and Tiny was so quiet, and Tiny goes, don't jump when he dunks. I said, okay. I said, I won't do that. So Big D damn near broke my arm. I said, I tell you, the power he had when he was coming in there, thank goodness he fouled me a lot. I tell you what, the nice thing for Double D, I would go, he'd jump, I just run into him and try to shoot 2 free throws.
And you were calling for the Chief to come guard him.
But most of the time he was in foul trouble.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I stayed in foul trouble because I was very physical. My mother taught me how to play, and she said, hit them often, and they don't come back.
You didn't hit your mother, did you?
My mother was the dirtiest player in the neighborhood. You kidding me?
Now, Darryl, you played against so many great centers there in the 80s. Who gave you the most trouble?
Bob Lanier.
Really?
Bob Lanier was cross-eyed, left hand, both sides 22 shoot, and he had a button in his side. When he pushed the button, his rear end got bigger and you couldn't get around. Bob could give it to me Sunday morning. I couldn't guard Bob.
Goes into Bob Lanier, who goes in and gets the basket with 1 second, and that'll do it.
Michael Ray, take us back through the 80s for you. I know it was a long, strange trip.
Well, what was good for me was that when we beat the Philadelphia 76ers in that Game 5 series.
Yep.
Bad pass by Irving, intercepted by Michael Ray. He's doing everything tonight. Terrific. Sugar Ray there to pick it up, and he takes an off-balance try and sticks it in. Look out! What a sequence for Sugar Ray.
Sugar took him to the limit.
This is going to be the greatest win in the history of New Jersey net basketball. They're going wild. It's like they won the national title.
I gotta tell you a story about Michael, because Michael played with my college teammate, Ray Williams.
In Minnesota, man.
Yes, as you did.
Yes.
And he played with Ray Williams. And I tell people, my first year in the league, you and Ray were murder.
Ray Williams, quick hand, 3-on-1 on the break. Richardson goes up, he's got it.
We called Ray Williams Sugar Ray Williams. He was in Minnesota, but there
was a real sugar.
Yeah, I know. That's what he said. You're right.
You had sweet low, and he had sugar.
Yeah, exactly.
But you can't have sugar crisp without the sugar band.
Yeah, is that what it was?
You just can't have it.
Sugar, the Moncrief, in the lane.
Oh, what a shot!
We'd be playing New Jersey, and they weren't very good. And so we'd be knowing we were going to win the game.
That's before we got
Watch what you said now. We weren't good. Because hey, listen, now, I got a memory when we beat Boston at the Meadowlands. Bill, let me tell you what it was. We were down by 1. Stan Arbeck called a timeout and said, Sugar, we're going to run this play. We're going to get the ball into Darryl. So I looked at Darryl. I told Otis, he don't want it. So I came out. I told Paul Silas, who's our assistant coach, I said, listen, coach, I'm taking this one. We took the ball out of bounds, passed it to me, I shot a 3.
Got it! At the buzzer, the next win!
And we won at the buzzer.
Yeah.
in the Meadowlands.
I had 4 losses in the 80s to New Jersey, and that was one of them.
That also
Too. When I was a disgrace to basketball in the opening game.
In Chicago,
yes,
too.
you
In
were.
Chicago, hey.
Well, I got to tell that. So hold on. So we played, and it's the opening night, and it's 85, 86 season. We ended up winning a championship that year. So we play the first game in New Jersey, and we lose, and we're bad. I mean, we're all sorts of.
No one was worse than me.
Yeah, we're all sorts of funky. You know, it's a new team. We're all getting started and stuff. So, you know, we didn't play very good. We get in the locker room afterwards, and all of a sudden, Casey Jones does his quick little speech like, "Hey guys, we stunk. You know, we play again tomorrow night. And let's get out of here." Typical NBA stuff. So Bill stands up, and Bill back then stuttered, and Bill said, "I would like to say something." So we're all kind of getting ready, and you know, we're looking up, and Bill goes, I was a disgrace to the NBA. I was a disgrace to basketball. I am so sorry. And he goes, I'll play better. And Larry stood up and goes, I sure as hell hope so. I don't want to hear that every game. And then we all walked in, and we were all laughing. Bill thought we were like more serious than we were. Like, say, we're 0-1. But when we won our next game, Danny Ainge goes, well, we made the playoffs. So we were 1-1.
Michael, we've got the youngster over here from Germany. You know, do you think we should let him be a part of this roundtable?
Of course he should be a part of it. He played 16 years.
Hey, he was blowing
should
people's
be a part
brains
of it.
out, wouldn't
He should be a part of it. Hey,
I didn't play 16 games.
Hey, listen, but he was a great shooter. He was a great player.
How'd you learn how to
16
play
years?
over there in Germany?
Oh, God, you're going way back. I played soccer, like Elijah Wan, like a lot of Europeans and African players. So when I first came over my rookie year, I remember you were talking about 86. Remember the game, my rookie year, Mark Aguirre didn't want to play against the Boston Celtics for whatever reason. Could have
Generally
been
called birditis.
Yeah, pretty much. So I was, I think, at that point, the third small forward, and Larry gave us 50.
2-point Maverick lead.
Bird's the man they want to have it. Yes, indeed.
Bird for 3.
Yes!
Larry Bird for 3 with 4 seconds to go. Celtics lead it by 1. What can you say about Larry Bird?
Oh, boy. Next year, for whatever reason, somebody else didn't play again. And I was starting, and I go, okay, do you want Bird or Micheal?
Oh, great choice.
And I was going, isn't Walton starting?
I was on the bench, deservedly so. Well, Kevin, what about Larry, Magic, and Michael?
Well, those 3 guys in the 80s, and I came in, you know, right at the end of the 70s. Bill, you guys won a title in '77, and the league was floundering a little bit at that time. And boy, you know, Larry and Magic really took the league with the team play, and I thought they just went the passing, and also just involving everybody in the game.
Yeah. That's the Boston Celtics. Look at Magic. Beautiful.
What a piece of work that man is.
There was nobody like Magic. The only way that you could play against Magic was you had to pick him up 94 feet. Right. Because if you let him get ahead of steam, you're in trouble.
Magic is straight down the middle. Still going, still going.
Oh! Highlight film. Showtime.
And Larry Bird he wasn't a great jumper. He wasn't quick, but he had a high IQ of basketball. He knew where he wanted to go before he got there. Plus, he was a great shooter.
Because I think he was quick because of his mind, not because of his feet.
Yeah.
Because he figured out the play.
Now, guarding him, Sugar, all the time. I'll tell you what he did. It was amazing. His pump fake, what it was he went from here to the floor as quick as anybody.
Larry Bird can't be Russell. Look at that move by Bird. And the second move. 7 seconds to get it up, and it's Larry Bird who does it. Larry Bird.
Like really made him so effective was he could shoot.
Oh yeah.
See, so what he did was when he get that pump fake means if you don't honor it, he gonna shoot it and make it. So he would catch you, put it on the floor.
Are we going to let the young guy? Okay. Are we going to let the young guy talk? He has the most years in the league, and we're not even letting the youngster talk. It's like having a little brother. It's like Danny Ainge. We couldn't get to shut up.
Exactly. Yeah, I couldn't get Danny.
You had to guard Larry. What was that like?
The worst thing was when you guys ran pick and rolls because, you know, Kevin or you or
Chief.
Chief came up and it was a quick pick and roll with a slip. And deny him the ball as much as you can, force it out, and then, you know, let Danny Ainge drive to the basket.
Let Danny shoot.
No, that was a problem, right? You had shooters on the other side, but you had to pick your poison.
Danny one time said he came in and Danny had a big fourth quarter, and Danny comes in and he goes, I'm our best fourth quarter player. And Larry's sitting there. Larry was funny. Larry had a great sense of humor. People don't know. Larry's hilarious. Bertie's tying his shoes, and he kind of looks up and he goes, well, hell, I hope so, because your man's either standing by me or Kevin the whole fourth quarter. He goes, you're playing by yourself. So people always say to me, could Magic and Larry, play in today's game? I'm like, are you kidding me? And they say, well, what's the difference between those three? I said, here's the difference between those three, and I saw it many, many times. Larry and Magic could control the game by taking 10 shots. They'd have 17 points, 15 rebounds, 12 assists, 4 steals. If you got Michael Jordan to take 10 shots, you controlled him.
Soft to the right. Jordan on the drive. Falls down underneath. From the left side. Jordan.
Oh, what a drive. Oh, what a drive.
Michael Jordan, what you have to do with him is try not to let him catch the basketball. If he ever gets the ball in his hands, you're done.
Inbounds the cart right to Jordan. Time winding down. Michael for three. Yeah! Yes!
Earlier in Michael's days, we beat them 6 times, me and Darryl did.
We was in Chicago. So it's 3 seconds left. He guarded Michael Jordan. And Stan Auerbach said, what's the best defense for Michael Jordan? Sugar said, me having some offense. He said, well, I'm going to do this play. He did this play. I come off. I'm down there wide open waiting for the ball. He came across half court. He shot the ball with 3 seconds left, and he said, come on. The ball is still in the air.
And he just runs off.
Come on. And he started running. We had to go downstairs to get into the locker room. Everybody was standing there looking like this. Flash right through. We beat Chicago,
and
right?
He's already gone.
We get down to the locker room. He coming out of the shower. I told y'all to come on. He would take the last shot.
I probably wish all guys and all players had an opportunity to play in the championship and play with the Lakers or the Celtics during that time. Then they understand what basketball really is.
But Kevin, talk about the Lakers-Celtic rivalry and how special that was and what it meant for basketball.
It was great, and again, I think that started propelling what you saw through the 80s into the 90s with Michael, and it was just great basketball. They were the team that you knew you had to play really well against and could still lose. Most times, I felt with the teams I played on, our good championship caliber teams, that if we played really good, game was kind of over. The other team was like, we're just going to win. You could play really good against the Lakers and still lose. Yeah. So there was that anxiety level of, man, we got to be special tonight.
The left goes Magic. He's got it. He didn't shoot it. 5 seconds left. Magic down the middle, just what I thought. A hook shot at 12. Good!
Yeah, the Lakers, I think lost to them 3 times in the playoffs, 1 time in the 7th game in the Western Conference Finals. Same thing, we tried to slow the Lakers down. Our deal was we got to score on offense, and we had a great weapon. Mark Aguirre I think that series was on fire. They couldn't guard him. They put Worthy on him. They put AC Green on him. I think Rambis was still there at the time. Nobody could guard him. So when you scored, you take some of it away. And we did, and of course, then went into Kareem every time.
It's into Kareem. Kareem swing left, right hand, 12-footer, good!
Look at what Kareem was able to do on, especially on that right box, swinging that's good. Look, they came up and down the floor. They were their Showtime Lakers until the last 5 minutes of the game. Then they played out of Kareem. They said, I tell you what, Pat Riley wasn't no dummy. He said, you know what, that Showtime looks good. The last 5 minutes, I tell you, we're dropping to the big boy.
Let's go to work.
The guy spotted up.
That's a real easy game when you throw it in there.
No question.
Ford sends it to Kareem. Skyhook up and good. Lakers win. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has given the Los Angeles Lakers a victory.
He had just raw core strength that you just couldn't even imagine.
That's what I tell people. I said, they look at him and they say, why don't more people shoot that one-legged skyhook? I said, you need to have great balance, because when you go to that one leg and you get pushed, if you don't have great balance, I've seen a lot of guys try that shoot. Yeah. They're shooting it like this. They're falling down. Yep. He had great strength.
That's a tough shot. Unbelievable.
Kareem threw 42 points in on me on Mother's Day. And I called my mother. I said, Mom, happy Mother's Day. She said, why did that boy score all them points on you? I said, Mom, he won't do that again. Believe me. So I talked to Bob Lanier, and Bob Lanier said, hey, the way you guard him, stop letting him get to that box. I said, but that's his box. He said, you see his name on that box? Next game we played him, I ran right down to the box and stood on it. Kareem came down, he said, move. I said, I ain't moving. He said, move. I said, I ain't moving. He said, why? I said, Bob, see this ain't your box. And after that, never had to worry about 42 again.
From the University of Massachusetts, number 6, captain of the Philadelphia 76ers, Julius the Doctor
Darryl, you had the privilege of playing with and against Dr. J.
Julius was the first person I saw with air brakes, where he was going down the lane on New York, and two guys got in front of him, and he didn't put his foot down. He moved over a little bit and dunked and put his hand on the backboard to keep from going through it. Now, he was a leader from the time he got to Philly, and we was rebels. He was, you do this. Me and World Free was like, we ain't following you, man. We can do our own thing. But he was that leader. And he did things that guys have never done in basketball. Fantastic. I love the man to this very day.
He was the most dynamic and vibrant, exciting player that I ever
Man
played.
could have floated around the world in something nowadays.
Best in-game dunker,
Yeah.
Dr. J.
Here he comes. Way rock the baby to sleep and slam dunk.
But I never, ever forget when Julius Erving came through the lane and dunked on me.
He dunked on us all, believe me.
He was dunking on T.
He dunked on you.
Listen, no, but this was unbelievable. He took off on Kevin, and Kevin saw him coming and just threw his hands up.
Yeah.
And it was unbelievable.
Here's the bad thing. I jumped where you normally would challenge. All of a sudden you get up and you can get up pretty high, and I'm up high enough. But all of a sudden I realized he was way higher than I was. And the last thing you did, I went like, oh no.
Here's Detlef's first game in the NBA.
Preseason game in Dallas. We're playing Philly, and Dr. J was kind of, my last few years in college was my idol. So I started.
Mine too.
I started, and I'm guarding Julius. Yeah. So about 2 minutes into the game, you know how he used to have that play. Julius kind of run to the left box, but then all of a sudden go back door and he throw a lob. He went back door. I said, I got this, and I jumped, and the ball kept going up and kept going up, and I looked, and there was a hand above me, and dunked right on top of me. So then the second half, we get, remember Dick Motto's offense, right?
Oh yeah.
The 5, you have a screen down, and the big guy has a ball on top, and you slip it. So I slipped on Julius, I get the ball, and I dunk it left-handed right on top of him. And I'm running down the court, and Moses Malone goes, that white boy can play.
You guys are fantastic. Thanks for bringing all the memories back. But let's just take a moment to reflect and really share what the NBA game means to each and every one of us here. Kevin?
Well, you know what? I've said it before, and as I get older now, I'm 52, I realize what a blessing it was to play in the NBA and how blessed I was. And I tell you what, I thank God all the time. It was just such a beautiful game. You're playing, you're running up and down. It was a freedom to express yourself. It was just such beauty. There are times right now when I'll be in bed and I'll be dreaming I'm playing, and I wake up, I want to go right back to bed because I'm blocking shots and running around. And it was just, I just love the game, and I love to play. And again, like I say, it was just such a blessing to be able to play in the NBA. It was unbelievable.
Detlef?
Well, I think it's just the passion. It took me, I learned it late when I was 13, but it took me away from my home and from my country to go play it somewhere else, because it was basically the #1 reason why I existed back then. And I still love it. I love watching it. And, when you think about all the good memories, I think a lot of the things I miss is the BSing in the locker room afterwards, or staying after practice and shooting for lunch, and staying there for an hour later, and nobody wants to leave because nobody wants to lose. It's that competitive stuff.
That's why we do these. Michael?
I mean, it gave me an opportunity to fulfill my dream. It was, as a kid, I used to go watch the ABA teams play, Julius Erving, George Gervin, and I always wanted to be a NBA player, and it's been good to me. It's been, it's a blessing in the sky, because if you look at it, there's over maybe 10 or 15 million basketball players, and I was able to play at the highest level.
You know what, I thank God for being able to play and getting a chance to make money. But I also thank God because I got a chance to play with a guy that made basketball exciting for me again, and not to be just blowing him up. Sugar made me wanted to play again. I started running down the floor. I thought I was finishing Philly. And I've made friends throughout basketball that carried over into life that I can call now and talk to, and we can relive 2 minutes on the phone and laugh as hard as I want to laugh. It was a great thing for me.
For me, it was the friendship, being a teammate, opponents here, and knowing the start of Detlef Schrempf and the UCLA influence on him over in Leverkusen. Also the special teams and the unbelievable coaches. 6 of my coaches are in the Hall of Fame, and more would have been if these legs would have held up. But to me, the fans. I mean, the fans who make it all happen for all of us and have given us just really the greatest life ever. And as I get older and now have a son in the NBA and everything, and you see what it means to the fans and how they come, and we're involved in it. We live it every single day. And so we kind of, okay, that's just part of our lives. But when someone who comes and gets to go one day, to go to one game and to see their heroes and the appreciation and the sense of gratitude that they have and awe, really, when they go in to the great arenas that you guys have helped build. I mean, it is really special and heartwarming and just touching for me that something that we were part of, something that was just so great in our own individual lives, actually made a difference in someone else's. We are indeed the luckiest people on earth. Thanks, guys, for having us as part of this.